Hello everyone, I'm Sarosh from the Tourism School. As I always share important tools and concepts for lowering down the airfares and issuing tickets at a cheaper rate. So today also I'm sharing important concept of open jaw journeys with you. Apart from being beneficial for the travel agent, open jaw concept is very useful for a traveler too, as open jaw ticket results into equal or lower fare than simple return tickets. And this concept is really important for students as well who are looking forward to enter into the air ticketing, travel and tourism industry.
A return journey means starting from origin to destination and return back to the origin. In an open jaw journey, the return or the origin is different. For example, you start your journey from London to New York, and then instead of returning back from New York, return back from Chicago. So means the return journey is Chicago to London. Because New York to Chicago sector remains open like a jaw. The journey looks open like a jaw. That is why we call it as open jaw journey. And this particular example is a case of single open jaw journey because the jaw remains open only once. And because the jaw is open at the destination, that is why it is known as destination open jaw also. For a journey to be called as open jaw journey, there are few conditions. The first condition is the entire journey should be by one single airline. The second important condition is that the pricing should be done together, which means that both the journeys should exist in one single PNR and tickets should also be issued together. So it means if you are not having both the journeys in one single PNR, then otherwise also this would become an example of one way journey. Let me make third point more clear. Most of the airlines allow the open jaw to be created between points in same country. Like the first example I gave, London, New York, return from Chicago to London. As Chicago and New York are in USA, both the points belong to USA, so this particular journey is accepted by the airline. Whereas if airline says that the points where the jaw is getting open can be in same IATA area, so another example of a journey which goes from London to New York and returns from Toronto to London is also an correct example of open jaw journey, because Toronto, which falls in Canada, and New York, which falls in USA, both are in same IATA sub area, which is North America. Fourth most important point for a journey to be called as an open jaw journey is that the distance between both the points making a open jaw should be less than the other two journeys. Let me again give you an example to explain this point better. The journey from Singapore to Auckland is 526 miles, and the journey from Perth to Singapore is 2431 miles. The distance between Auckland to Perth, the open sector, the place which is creating the open jaw, the distance between these 2 points, Auckland and Perth, is 3317 miles. Hence, this particular journey cannot be called as an open jaw journey. Though, if you look at the journey, if you understand the journey, this becomes an example of open jaw. But due to the distance, this cannot be called as open jaw. Let's see the price comparisons for open jaw journeys. So let's take the very first and the basic case, which is a return journey Delhi, New York, New York, Delhi by Turkish Airline. The fare is 1,03,970 Indian rupees. If we create jaw at the origin, which means going from Delhi to New York and returning from New York to Mumbai. So open jaw is created between Delhi and Mumbai, and this is an example of origin open jaw because jaw is getting open at the origin point. So in this case, by taking the same airline, same travel dates, the fare is coming out to be 98,946 Indian rupees, which is way lower than a normal return journey. Coming to the third journey, trying to create open jaw at the destination point, which means going from Delhi to New York and returning from Chicago to Delhi. The fare in this case is coming out to be 1,03,277 Indian rupees. All the examples I have taken are for Turkish Airline for exactly the same travel dates. So even if you return from Chicago, then also the fare is approximately same. And if you maintain the open jaw between the origin points, which means Delhi and Mumbai, then the fare is way lower. So practically in real life scenario also, this is very important. If the requirement of the client is not to return to a same point, or if client wants to explore another point which is called Chicago, so then also the fare is coming out to be very much similar to the normal return journey. Let's see another example. So in this case, I have maintained itinerary for Air India for 20th September Delhi to Frankfurt and return by Air India on 30th September from Frankfurt to Delhi. So this is a return journey giving us the lowest fare of 63,403 Indian rupees. Instead, I have tried to create an open jaw at Vienna, between Vienna and Frankfurt. So the travel date is exactly the same, which is 20th September going from Delhi to Frankfurt by Air India, and the return is from Vienna. And in this case, the fare is 59,618 Indian rupees. This particular case is a very common example for destination open jaw, and because Europe is a preferred destination because of one single visa for Schengen area, so open jaw in Schengen area in Europe are very common for leisure traveler, and you can see the fare is rather less than the return journey. So that is why open jaw journeys are preferred more than the return journeys, especially in case of leisure tourism or if there is a necessity. Let me show you the fare comparison when we are taking the journeys, maintaining the open jaw between different countries but falling in the same TC area. So if we maintain a journey by United Airlines for 10th October London to New York and return by same airline for 20th October New York to London, the fare is coming out to be 90,610 Indian rupees, whereas if the return is done from Toronto to London, which means creating the open jaw between two different countries but falling in the same TC area, the fare is coming out to be 91,242 Indian rupees. There's hardly any difference, but you are returning from some other country. So if the need be to return from other country, then open jaw definitely would have a better pricing, because if you take one way journey and then another one way journey, so this would definitely be expensive. So if I do London to New York separately and Toronto to London separately, this is definitely going to be a expensive journey because I will have to price it like one way journeys. Rather, if I try to maintain the open jaw with the same airline, then the fare is coming out to be quite similar to the return journey.
Is beneficial for the travel agent, as cost of two one-way tickets is definitely going to be expensive than return or a open jaw ticket. Second, travel agent can give more options to the traveler by making an open jaw ticket, especially in case of leisure tourism. Open jaw ticket is very useful for the customer, as customer, the traveler can explore more destinations, rather more countries in single ticket. Secondly, traveler can save a lot of time as traveler is not required to return back to the place to catch the return journey. Third, it is definitely going to be cheaper for the traveler as well. For students, having knowledge of open jaw journeys can help them crack the interview. Open jaw tickets are flexible tickets. So if a student who is willing to enter into the tourism industry has this knowledge, then that particular student is definitely preferred by companies, as this student can create cheaper tickets as per the customized travel requirements as